Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. If you notice that I'm in the same clothes as last week, that's correct, and that is because I am filming this on the same day immediately after filming that video, and I'll be in the same clothes again next week because I'm filming another video right after filming this. So gotta do what you gotta do. Anyways, today I'm going to be doing a favorite book tag. I saw another booktuber do this. Her name is Jamie. I saw her post this, and I believe that this template isn't even hers, it's someone else's. I don't know. I'll tag her in the description. You can go check out her video. She talks about where she found the template, but I found it from her, and I'm going to be using it to talk about some books that I enjoy. So let's get into it. The first tag is 5 books that define your taste, and this doesn't mean 5 of the best books you've ever read. Like, I'm not going to say this is my top 5 favorite books, but more as in a favorite from different genres, like very different books that I think encompass overall my reading taste. So the first one obviously is Priory of the Orange Tree. If you know me, I love this book. This is probably my favorite book. It's so beautiful, so incredible, and I picked it because this is, you know, fantasy. It shows my love for the fantasy genre, which is my biggest genre, and I think it definitely defines my taste because this is what I think of when I think of a perfect book. So I think that really does help define my taste. And the next one we have is Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen. I also believe that one defines my taste. It's very different because it's not fantasy. It's like a literary fiction, and it's very dark, like dark humor, dry humor. I think it's hilarious and just kind of heartwarming in an ironic way. I love everything Emily Austen writes, and this one is my personal favorite, so I had to put it on here because I do think it defines my taste. And then we have The Song of Achilles. I read a lot of historical type books, and I know this one technically is probably more considered mythology than a historical fiction because I read a lot of historical fiction, especially queer historical fiction. I absolutely love it. But I also do read a lot about Greek mythology. I think Greek mythology retellings are super fun, and I've been trying to read more. I recently got the book Stoneblind, which is about Medusa, and I haven't started it yet, but I am really excited to. So I think that one is good to encompass that side of my reading. And then we have one to encompass my soft side, my warm romantic side, more YA, and that is Sophie and the Bone Song. This is a romantasy, which a sweet little sapphic romantasy. Obviously that's going to describe me, and I didn't want to put a romance book in here because I don't read much romance, but I have read romance and I've talked about romance books on my channel. So this is kind of encompassing anything romantic, sweet, soft, fluffy. This is representing that side of me. And then the last one I would say defines me is Wilder Rules by Rory Power. That one is more horror, thriller-ish type book. More, you know, you're trying to figure out what's going on, fast-paced, it's kind of gory, it's kind of like, and that's just another facet of what I like, what I enjoy, because I'm so all over the place when it comes to the genres of books that I read, so it was hard to pick 5 that describe my whole taste. But I think that these 5 are good to explain like every sort of facet of my reading. I absolutely love Wilder Girls, and I just think it's a wonderful book, and I think it really does represent like all of the horror, thriller, that type of books that I read. Mystery, even though it's not really a mystery, I'm going to use it to represent that whole type of book. The next tag we have is books you have loved in different eras of your life. So you're gonna think I'm copying Jamie because I said I was inspired this video by her, and we have some overlap in this category, but I swear I'm not copying her. But the first one she mentioned was The Velveteen Rabbit, and that's actually the first one I'm gonna mention here too. I loved The Velveteen Rabbit as a kid. I had it on like a cardboard, like thick paper book. Like, it wasn't like a page book, it was like the wooden books that you read when you're a kid. And this book, it made me so sad, but in a way that I loved it. I don't know, I guess that's where I got my love for sad books from, because I really do love a book that's gonna make me cry. And this one made me cry when I was little, but I would also ask my mom to read it to me like every single night because I found comfort in the sadness of it. I don't know, I really love that book. And then just gonna rapid fire a few more because I put a lot on this list. Serendipity, the one about the pink dragon, I really enjoyed that one. The Owl Diaries, I had an obsession with. I've read the whole series when I was little. Also the Upside Down Magic series, absolutely adored. Harry Potter, obviously, I read when I was in elementary school and I loved it. I hate J.K. Rowling. We do not support J.K. Rowling, and I don't purchase anything Harry Potter anymore because fuck you, J.K. Rowling. But that was one of the things that really got me into reading. We have the Nancy Drew Diaries, which I had such an obsession with for a long time. I read They're still making more of them, I believe, and now my little sister is reading them, which I think is really great because we can kind of share that experience. Fish in a Tree, that book is like a middle grade book. It's about a girl with dyslexia, and I think it's just so eye-opening and enlightening, and I think anyone that's like 5th, 6th grade should read that book because it is really important, I think, to read about those kind of things. And then of course Charlotte Doyle, which I had to read in school in 6th grade, and I just fell in love with it. Those are books that kind of raised me when I was little. The next tag we have is favorite genres, which, like I said, I'm all over the place with genres. My biggest genre, I actually looked on my story graph, my biggest genre is LGBTQ, which I don't think is a genre because that doesn't, like, that could be any genre, but good to know that that's mostly what I read. But after that, we had fantasy, which I read a lot of fantasy. I really do. Fantasy is my favorite. I love being able to escape the world and dive into something completely new. It's my favorite thing. I also put romantasy, which romantasy and fantasy aren't exactly the same. Obviously, they're similar, but I do think I read a lot of romantasy too. I also put historical fiction. I really do enjoy historical fiction, and thriller type of horror, or like a psychological type of horror, I'm really into. I don't like horror when it's just like, oh, guy with a knife chasing you. But if it's like thriller type horror, like The Girls I've Been, or if it's more of like a psychological type horror, like a horror with like a sickness or an illness, like that's the kind that I'll enjoy. That'll keep me on the edge of my seat. And then the last one I put is lit fic. I do read a lot of literary fiction books. I do enjoy. They're hit or miss because sometimes they are boring, I hate to admit, but I also really love some literary fiction books. Some of them are some of my favorite books that I've ever read. So I had to put that genre on here. Next, we have favorite authors, and these are not going to be any new names because if you've watched any of my videos, you know you've heard me talk about them before. First of all, we have Alice Oseman. Absolutely adore Alice Oseman. I've read all of her books, and if she ever makes more, I will read them too. I think she's just incredible. I think their writing is beautiful, and they're definitely very YA, which I feel like now, like I recently reread Solitaire not too long ago, and I think I definitely related to it more and enjoyed it more when I was a little younger, but I still really love it, of course, and I love everything Alice Oseman writes. I also have Emily Austen, Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead, We Could Be Rats, Interesting Facts About Space. Absolutely love Emily Austen. Again, will read anything she writes. Leigh Bardugo, the whole Grishaverse. I love the Grishaverse. I've currently read all of the Grishaverse books except for Rule of Wolves, which I will be reading as soon as I get my hands on it because I'm so excited to read it. I really do think it's going to be a 5-star. But yeah, love the Grishaverse, love Leigh Bardugo, Adrienne Tooley, my queen of sapphic romantasy, Sophie and the Bone Song, Sweet and Bitter Magic. I don't know what else, but I really love her. Tracy Deonn, Legendborn. Amazing books, love Tracy. V.E. Schwab, I only recently got into her, but I read Addie and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever read. So now I bought Vicious and I'm going to read Vicious, and I pre-ordered Bury Our Bones, so I'm going to read that too. And I just know that she's going to be a new all-time favorite because Addie was just so beautifully written. Tahira Mafi with Shatter Me and Watch Me, and Holly Jackson with The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, 5 Survive, which I haven't read yet, but I will be reading, and the reappearance of Rachel Price. Anyways, there's probably definitely a lot more that I'm not naming, but those are my go-tos. Next one is favorite form of reading, and that for me is definitely going to be a physical book. I love holding a book, smelling a book, feeling a book, hearing the turning of the pages. I just love actually having the book in my hands. I also don't do well with audiobooks. I've listened to a couple, but I don't do it frequently. Like very rarely I'll listen because I don't stay very engaged. I'm the type of person where I'm not hard of hearing by any means, but I do, if I'm watching like a movie or a TV show, I always put closed captions on because it's just kind of hard for me to really understand what's going on if I literally don't know what they're saying, and I normally just don't really know what they're saying, so I always use closed captions. And with audiobooks it's like the same thing. Like I'm like, I don't even know what you're saying, and I just get lost and I zone out, and then I don't even know what's going on. As far as Kindle reading goes, I just don't have a Kindle. I think if I had a Kindle I would enjoy reading on Kindle. I still think I'd prefer books, but I don't know. But yeah, I just have never had the urge to buy a Kindle, but I don't have anything against it. I do definitely think if I had one, I would use it, but I don't have one, and I'm not gonna get one anytime soon. So next we have favorite characters, which is a really fun one. First one I put is Sabrin from Priory of the Orange Tree. She's just my favorite in that whole book. She's so amazing. I love myself a strong feminist main character. She's just so, her character growth in the book is just so unmatched, and the struggle she went through and everything about her, I just absolutely adore her. I also put Michael Holden from Solitaire. That one's a gimme. I feel like if you've read Solitaire, you love Michael Holden. I don't know anyone who doesn't. I put Bree from Legendborn, and also any character from Legendborn. I love every single one of the characters in Legendborn. Alice too, definitely. She's my other favorite. Nick, definitely. Mariah, definitely. Literally everyone. I love every character in Legendborn. Same with Shatter Me. I love all the characters, specifically Juliet, Warner, Kenji. Absolutely adore them. Six of Crows, again, all of the characters I really love. Wylan is my favorite, but literally all of them. They're just so well written. And then Crier's War, I really love Crier, and Alia also, but Crier is my favorite. And those are just some, I could keep going on and on and on forever, but those are the ones that really stick out to me. Next is favorite series. First one is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. This is a YA series. I read it a while back, but it's just so gorgeous. It's 6 books, absolutely incredible, very Tim Burton-esque. The movie actually is directed by Tim Burton, I believe. They're nothing like the movie. I mean, they're similar to the movie, but they're a billion times better. I watched the movie, I loved the movie, decided to read the books, and was just blown away by how much better they were. Absolutely adore this series. It definitely gets even better as you continue on, and everything just builds up and gets more intense and everything. It's just really wonderful. I really, really love it. I also have the Grishaverse series, obviously. Not Shadow and Bone as much. I don't like that one as much. But Six of Crows, I adore. King of Scars, which I haven't actually, like I said, I haven't actually read Rule of Wolves yet, but I know it's going to be 5 stars. I love Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom, King of Scars. Legendborn, you've heard me say it once, twice, 3, 1,000 times. Absolutely adore the Legendborn series. And of course, Priory of the Orange Tree, I adore. The Night and Its Moon, I've talked about on my channel before. It's a 4-book series by Piper CJ. Sapphic, obviously, fantasy. You can't go wrong. I think it's really great. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is different than a bunch of the other books that I have in this list. It's a murder mystery, but I love A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Definitely the 3rd book is my favorite, Hello. And then Crier's War, I adore Crier's War. It's a duology, and it's one of the best I've ever read. Absolutely amazing. And if you haven't read it, you definitely need to. Next, we have series I'm most excited to finish, and these first 2 are a gimme. That is the King of Scars duology, which obviously I haven't shut up about it. I'm so excited to read Rule of Wolves. I'm getting it for my birthday whenever I have it. I'm going to read it immediately. And then Priory of the Orange Tree, because Among the Burning Flowers is coming out in September, and I have never been more excited for a book release in my whole life. So, and then the last one I put on here is the Watch Me series. Whenever Tahira Mafi comes out with more books in that series, I'm going to be patiently waiting. I'm very excited to continue with those characters because they're so nostalgic to me. Then series I'm most excited to start. I'm really, really excited to start Gideon the Ninth. I believe there's 4 books in that series. I'm not quite sure, but I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I finally got the book. I got it just recently from my mother as an early birthday gift, and I'm very, very excited to read it. I'm going to read it soon, hopefully. And the next one we have is The Jasmine Throne, which I have with me, again, another one that I just got, and I'm really excited to read it. As soon as I'm traveling in a couple days, I'm gonna hope I can read it on my plane because I have a really long flight. Hopefully I can just sit down, open up the book, and read a good chunk of it. I'm really, really excited. Again, I've heard nothing but good things. And then the last one I put on here is Vicious, which, like I said, after reading Addie, I've fallen in love with V.E. Schwab, and I have no doubt that Vicious and Vengeful are going to also be absolutely wonderful, and I'm so excited to start them. Next, we have some books I predict will be a favorite, and that is, first of all, oh my god, I won't shut up about this book in this video, Rule of Wolves. I really love Leigh Bardugo, okay? And I really love all the characters in King of Scars and Six of Crows, and I'm really excited because I do think Rule of Wolves will be 5 stars. Next, I put Where Sleeping Girls Lie, another one I just got, and I'm so excited. It's like a horror-esque taking place in a school. It kind of gives me Wilder Girls vibes based on the synopsis, and I am so beyond excited to start it. Vicious, obviously, I'm very excited for. Fable for the End of the World. I haven't heard any bad things about it yet. It's a new release. I just got it. I got it with the cool sprayed edges. It's very pretty, and I'm very excited because I do think it'll be a very fun read. And then Among the Burning Flowers, obviously, if Priory was 5 stars and if Night was 5 stars, there's no reason why this one shouldn't be. Next one is, what would you go buy right now? So if I walked into Barnes & Noble right now, what would I be looking for? Dark Rise is one that I've heard a bunch of great things about, and it's been on my list of wants for a while, and I definitely think I would pick that one up. Also, Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I'm on such a V.E. Schwab kick right now. I don't know, but I really want to read it. The Safe Keep is another one that's kind of moving into a more literary fiction type area, but I am really excited to read that one because I think I've heard nothing but good things about it. Literally have not heard a single negative review about it, so I'm very excited to hopefully get my hands on that soon. And then one that's totally random and not like the rest of all is The Conspiracy Against the Human Race. I've been on somewhat of a psychology kick recently. I don't really know, and this just sounds very intriguing to me, and I really want to get my hands on it and read it. And then the last tag we have is favorite book creators, which I have a lot, and this isn't even all of them. I watch so many people on booktube and book talk, but I'm just gonna be talking about some booktubers I really love, and I'm just gonna like rapid fire them. I'll tag them all in the description so you can check out their channels. Let's just start naming them off. Eden Yonas, absolutely adore her. Katarina Reem, Leah Crumpton, Lexi aka Newly Nova with Cindy, Bridgetish, Azhanja, I'm not quite sure if I'm saying her name right, and I'm so sorry if I'm not. Sam Kwiatkowski, A Model Who's Read, Tia Chu, and A Sunday Book Nook. There's more. Like I said, there's literally more, but I could sit here and talk forever, so I'm not. But yeah, check them out, definitely. I'll leave them in the description, and that's all I have to say. Again, I'm really sorry, I don't actually know who created this tag, but I'm pretty sure that Jamie mentions in her video who created the tag. So just go to her channel, watch her video, check it out, and she'll mention it. I hope this helped you guys figure out my taste a little bit more, and if you have the same taste, please subscribe and join the fam. Hello. But I love you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.